Sue, I am so excited to have this conversation with you. And first, I just want to thank you for staying up so late. I know it's very late in Singapore, and I just want to thank you for that. Thanks for being here.
You. It's honored to be at your podcast.
You're so sweet. It is the most fun and fabulous thing of all the fun and fabulous things that I do. So I am delighted to have you. I'm delighted to make new friends by
Mhm.
having these fantastic conversations. And I know that my listeners feel the same way. So we're really excited to have you here.
Fantastic, great.
So, how are you saying yes to yourself in this season?
Well, I'm saying yes by really challenging myself to break the boundaries of what I'm usually doing. And
Wow.
I first start with publishing my first book recently, which is November last year. I'm professionally a marketer by profession. I have almost 25 years of brand management and marketing, building great brands in very iconic companies like the likes of Unilever, Mars, Diageo, HP. And I decided that, hey, what's better than, summarizing all my journey of becoming a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and actually publish a book just to inspire the next generation of marketing leaders. So that's my saying yes for this season.
Oh my gosh, it's such a generous yes. And so many people get to benefit from that. Thank you for that. How are you finding marketing yourself when you've been paid to create beautiful campaigns for big brands?
Well, I think that's a brilliant question. I find that being paid for building campaigns or for great brands is so much easier than marketing yourself.
Right?
Yeah, I think the principles all applied, but then you have to really start with knowing yourself and to be absolutely know what your brand is all about, and then have the courage to share it with the world and to really tell your authentic story. So for me, the big challenge was really around staying true to who I am, what my brand is, what my purpose is, and yet at the same time being able to tell a differentiated story.
Right. Which, oh my gosh, we could spend 47 podcasts talking about how in the world you do that because as a marketer, you're selling an, not selling, but you're, well, selling, yes, an aspirational identity, right? So you are inviting customers into the person they want to be, who
Yeah.
is the person that is so creative. And, that's why you need this computer or whatever thing that you are selling, whatever product you're marketing. But when it's yourself and you are branding the woman you're becoming, but you are also acutely aware of the woman that you are in this moment. And the only way to growth is to keep your eye on the prize, right? Of who we're
Yes.
becoming. So this is so beautiful that you've written the book on building a brand with soul, but you are also experiencing what that means and how we bump up against our own growth edges in
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to share a little story or anecdote about that. So I mean, Wendy, I'm a big believer of purpose. And I went through 15 years trying to find my own purpose, and I know my
Mm.
purpose. My purpose is about unleashing people's potential to
Mm.
create brand that impact business growth and the society. So the last few decades, I've been unleashing other people's potential, but I realized that as I was writing this book and going to this next chapter of my life or decade of my life, I wasn't really unleashing my own potential. I wasn't focusing on myself. So I
Right.
decided that the book is a start of focusing on myself, unleashing my own potential, pushing myself out of the comfort zone, doing things that I haven't done before, and even relearning things
Right.
in the way. And I think it was an amazing journey because you kind of don't really know what you're getting out there to, but as you
Right.
put yourself out there, as you try new things start unfolding, and things start multiplying quite interestingly,
Yes.
which has never been something that I'm kind of used to being a corporate, type A achiever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Welcome. Welcome to this side of the street. It's all fun. I'm telling you. I love the way that you have explained that because I think so often when we are making a change, a shift, we're evolving, we're reinventing ourselves. We want the security of
Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
how exactly this is going to end up and how exactly we are going to get there and how exactly we are going to achieve and be successful and how many clients we're going to have and how much we're going to sell this thing for and we want all of these details before we take a step
Mhm.
and we can call it so many things. We can call it being responsible. We can call it goal setting. We can call it strategizing. We can call it, being, I think I already said responsible,
Yeah.
just knowing what we're doing. But it's also a way to procrastinate, it's a way to avoid stepping into what's unknown because we think that the familiar is safe and our brain wants us to be safe. So if we're doing something that we've never done before, our brain is looking for evidence that this is going to work and that not cause us to perish.
Mhm.
And if there isn't any, then all of the red flags go up and we're in fear. But what we also know is that we want more and we want to live a life, as you said, of purpose, of contribution. We want to be in service. And if that is different than what we've been doing, then we are blazing a new trail.
Yeah. And Wendy, what's your own experience in this? I would love to hear your story.
Well, gosh, it's such a fun one. Because it is a graceful unfolding. And I have had to remind myself time and time again
Mhm.
that I do not have to figure it out, that the how is not my responsibility. That's on God's to do list, not on mine. So I'm finding myself more comfortably in the practice of identifying what I want, how I want to feel. I want more guest rooms and a longer table. I want to hold space for women that are holding space for themselves. I want to create beautiful opportunities that are safe and expansive for women to identify their dreams and
Mhm.
implement what the next steps are to move toward them. I want to feel expansive and connected and in contribution. I want to be in beautiful places. I want to own beautiful places. I want to visit beautiful places. I want to travel comfortably in between those places. So all of those things I've identified that I want. And then through a morning practice that I am completely committed to, which I get up every morning at 4:45 and I read and journal and meditate and pray and answer the question, how may I be of service today? What is my role in this today? And I ask that question of God, and whatever drops in my heart to do that day, that's what I do. And I know that as I continue to identify what I want, those things, those ideas that come to me, the decisions that I make, I know what it feels like in my body to go in the direction of what I want or what is going away from what I want. And then I can course correct in that process.
Right. Fascinating.
It's working. So it is it's interesting. It's interesting to articulate what that looks like on the daily, but because I am checking in with
Mm-hmm.
myself and I care about how I feel
Mm-hmm.
and I am available for opportunities and conversations. For example, this podcast. I knew that I love to talk. I knew that I enjoy talking more than writing. And I was encouraged by my friend Christina Brummer to start a podcast. And she was my virtual assistant at the time. So I said
Right.
I would be happy to, but I'm not interested in learning how to edit that or how to produce that. I own a historic bed and breakfast on a small flower farm in New England, and I lead culinary trips to France for solo female travelers. And I'm a single mom of an 11-year-old, so I do not have time to learn something that is not lighting me up. So I outsourced every portion of the podcast that didn't delight me to do. And I focused on having these amazing conversations and inviting women to share how they're saying yes to themselves because I desire to normalize that yes in big ways and in small ways. And as a result of that, I'm available for these conversations. Like I said before we hit record, you have been preparing for this conversation your whole life, just like I have. And I'm having these gorgeous connections and conversations, and we are recording this right now is episode 222, which is
Wow.
so fun, right? And I love it. It is so fun for me. So I am using the podcast as my social proof
Right.
that I can say yes to myself, that I can do what delights me, that I can lean into what feels good, that I can delegate what is not in my heart to learn how to do, but is necessary for this thing that I love. And it is my proof, my evidence that I
Mm-hmm.
can also let it be easy.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Love your story.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's fun because that's only one of them. It's just this, like I said, this constant unfolding and more opportunities are coming to me. I've purchased the 30 acres that border my property that used to be a part of the original parcel of the Phineas Wright House when it was built in 1785. I'm opening more opportunities for women to have transformational experiences here. It's
Uh-huh.
all just happening for me. And because I'm paying attention, I get to say
Right.
yes.
Right. Oh, that's fascinating.
Thank you. You're so sweet. I feel like you're interviewing me.
Yes.
So, what does it look like for you to unleash your purpose and potential, and how is that different from how what you were living?
Well, I had a fantastic 2 decades or 25 years of career in previous multinationals. I have been, I'm a CMO by profession. That's who I am. I've been with big brands, big companies. but I thought that, the next 10 years or the next decade has to be different or intuitively like, um because I'm always in the run. I never I never say present. I never kind of hit pause.
Mm, mhm.
So for me, this is a season of, hey, hitting pause, um by really living life to the full potential. Um I have a 12 years old girl.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And well, I'm a great role model for her, but I want her to also see that her mom could be beyond just being a professional career itself. So I think this season is something that is really about, staying still,
Mm.
unleashing my own potential. And I kind of went back and looked at what my purpose is, which is what I spoke about. And then I kind of intersect that with what my skill is, which is marketing. But I think I also have this whole ability to, you know, lead people, help people. So in my mind, it's still unfolding. But I have
Right.
I have a vision, Wendy, which is, hey, I want it to be just like the book, the title of the book. It's about building brands with soul, but actually it talks a lot about how do you live life, and lead teams and lead business with soul. So it's my own philosophy about, being human centric and how do I go about doing that. I wanted to use that message to take me to the next decade. Um, and that will encompasses things like, hey, still going back to corporate, but more multifaceted,
Yeah.
maybe looking at transforming, using my skills in board roles. I also really is very interested in, coaching people,
Hmm.
mentoring people. And the book is the start, because the book
Yeah.
is attracting a lot of young marketeers and even solopreneurs, all kinds of people towards me.
Yes.
Um, and they came to me for advice, and I'm starting to practice mentorship with them and coaching and muscle that I never had. So it's I have a vision there, but it's still unfolding, right?
Yes.
So like what you mentioned, being present and trying to slow down, which is very difficult, Wendy, for me. And having that, moment to, really look at being present and sensing and seeing things out, and feeling things, and actually saying yes to meeting lots of people. So for the
Yeah.
past few months, I've been meeting lots of different kinds of people. And it seems interesting because one thing kind of connect to another thing,
That's
and another
right.
thing.
Yep.
I don't believe in it, Wendy, by the way. I mean, historically, I've never done this before. It's very uncomfortable, but it seems that there's something bigger waiting for me.
Yes,
I don't know, and I
ma'am.
don't know, and I don't know what is it, but I'm kind of, when I'm kind of saying yes to things, right? Like
Oh
when
my
new people come
gosh.
to me, should you have coffee? I say, yeah, yeah, let's have coffee, you know,
Right.
and you kind of know it when the right people come to you. You have a gut that,
Yes.
yeah.
It's so good. I love
So,
it. I love that
so
you are finding this. And, you said there's a couple of things that you said that really stuck out to me. One that I would love for you to expound upon is you mentioned that you're learning to be still and unleash your full potential, which is so fun because that sounds like an oxymoron. And you are learning, and we know that that is how you unleash your full potential, is not by running at a million miles an hour, but
yes,
by being still. And this beautiful experience that you're having of this graceful unfolding, you don't know what it looks like until you take a step toward it. That's the beauty of it. The yes unlocks the how. It's just like a beautiful piece of art. If you want to see it better, You got to step into the museum. You got to get closer, close enough. Obviously, there's perspective when you pull back, but the plan, what is meant for you, can only unfold as you step toward it, because otherwise you just can't see it from here.
Mhm.
So I would love to
It's
hear, go, please.
yeah, go ahead.
No,
It's
what
very
you go.
uncomfortable actually, Wendy.
It's unfamiliar. Yep.
Yeah, unfamiliar.
Right. I mean, and I, not to change the word that is in your, what your experience is, but I think sometimes we can say things are hard, or you said the perfect word. It is uncomfortable. It's
Mm.
uncomfortable. It's unfamiliar. It's not unsurmountable. And it's interesting. We've talked about this before on the podcast. This idea of comfort zone
Yeah,
is actually not at all comfortable. It's
yeah,
just familiar and
yeah.
it's known. And we have these phrases that, oh, well, the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't. It's like, unless you find out there's no devil there, then
Yeah,
that's better. So
yeah.
we have, knowing that we have choice, knowing that we have freedom, knowing that we can course correct, giving ourselves permission to make mistakes because
Hmm.
we're curious and we're figuring it out, and we're reminding ourselves every day that our knower works. You knew
Hmm.
when you said yes to that coffee date that there was something there for you and you found it. And we also know when we say yes to things that we really wanted to say no to,
Hmm.
we remind ourselves that our knower is working when we are in those situations that we could have graciously excused ourselves from if we were listening
Right.
to our own intuition. How are you practicing this being still and unleashing your full potential?
It's an everyday challenge. So I try to take walks. I try to journal. I used to meditate, but I kind of stopped it a little bit. Um, but I think I kind of do weekly reflection. Um,
Great.
um, so using the journal to help me do weekly reflection, and I try not to run at the kind of speed that I run. So that I used to run. Um, and I think I listen to my body much more because I think when I'm tired, the body is sending me the right signals.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think the body, feeling the body, um, is a very good indication of what's right and not right. Not what's right and what's wrong. When it's right, you kind of feel that you're very light. It's
Yeah.
effortless. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. We have this internal guidance system that's
Yeah.
available to us, but so often our conditioning, our habits teach us to ignore it and teach us to put it off
Mm-hmm.
to the weekend or till vacation or till retirement or till the kids go to college, or
Mm-hmm.
always this time and space that's far away from now, and we're often moving that goalpost. Well,
Yeah.
when this happens, then, oh, but oh gosh, property taxes went up, so now I need to work harder to get, all of these outside influences that support us ignoring what's
Yeah.
important and what's actually happening. And that requires, like you said, the pause, this pattern interrupt, to do that reflection, to create a system of
Yeah.
how am I checking in with myself? Can I do that weekly? For me, it's daily. Some days it's multiple times a day.
Right.
And it just becomes my practice. My full-time job is checking in with myself. And what I accomplish during the day are the things that I'm able to do. But I'm
Right.
turning my focus inward instead of outward. And as a result, I'm a far better mom. I'm a far better friend. I'm a far better podcast host. I'm a far better soulpreneur. I'm a far better human. But
Mhm.
my conditioning said, "Oh no, no, no. If you don't take care of everybody else, this whole thing's going to fall apart." And that's
Yes.
not actually what I found to be true for me.
Yes. Interesting.
How are you building your brand with soul?
Uh, that's a very good question. Um, I think I'm building my brand with soul by obviously starting with the book, and then I started my own podcast,
Very good.
which, like yourself, a friend of mine said, "Hey, why don't we help you?" I said, I don't know how to do all this editing, but I can
Right.
interview, I can get the right guest on it. Why don't you? And then say, oh, that's fine. We'll do the editing for you and production for you. So that's what I did. The third thing is I write quite a fair bit, so I use LinkedIn as my platform for expression of my brand.
Brilliant.
Um, I have been speaking quite a lot on podcasts, on panels, um, um, but I'm starting to be very intentional about speaking,
Hmm.
and to be very intentional about emanating my voice
Mm.
in that perspective. Um, and I'm also trying to go into, the three facets of my goal in terms of my visual. I'm starting with the first facet of translating concepts in my book into some leadership transformation program so that I impact
Mm.
more people.
Yes.
Uh, haven't hit success yet. We have the program, but we haven't got any leads yet. But who knows?
Sure.
So those are the few things that I've been doing. But I realize that the more I allow my voice and allow this brand to show up, the more it becomes comfortable,
Mhm.
and the more it becomes consistent, and then the more I do it, it's kind of effortless.
Yeah.
It's like it was effortless. And I think this week was interesting because I moderated a panel, I went for a dinner whereby I had a fireside chat to talk about my book, my philosophy of building brands with soul and leadership with soul, kind of catalyzed conversation. And I can feel chills during the dinner, right? I went into dinner not feeling really well because I'm not in the best state, but I walk out of the dinner feeling energized. So I think it gives me these two incidents gave me confidence to 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 kind of demonstrate my voice even further. Yeah.
So good. So in the book, are you outlining how people can identify what the soul of their brand is and then how to communicate that?
Yeah.
And so are
Yes.
there steps? How does a person do that?
Yeah. So I think I articulated in my book that a brand with soul um, has to have 5 pillars. So for me, those brands with soul has 5 pillars that they have, or criteria they need to satisfy. So um, it has to start with a meaningful purpose.
Mm.
that is rooted in the great human insight. The second thing is it has to keep reinventing with times. So the
Mm,
purpose needs to stay relevant. The third thing is it has to connect on an emotional level. If not, it has no soul.
right.
And then the fourth thing is it has to have a consistent visual identity. It has to look consistent. You have to feel it. You have to smell it. You have to see the colors and everything, right? And then the last but not believe a great brand with soul starts from within. It starts from the founders and the people who developed it, whether it's a solopreneur brand or a founder-led brand or a corporate brand, and it has to, and for MNC, it has to be internally believed by the employees.
Mm.
So those are my 5 pillars.
How are those playing out in your business?
Still, it's just a start,
Okay.
but it's a good provocation for you.
Yeah, so beautiful. Have you been helping corporate brands reinvent themselves? Are you pulling out how they could be better communicating what everybody already knows about them, or what has been your experience there?
Well, my experience has been, either launching new brands, but I think one of the things that I'm very good at is I've always been repositioning brands.
Mm.
So whether I take a brand that is not doing so well and then reframe it to growth, or I take a global brand and make it relevant in the region.
Oh,
So it's
that's
all about,
interesting. Can you
yeah.
give an example of that? Because I think that that would be really helpful for someone. I mean, even for me, as I'm continuing to reinvent myself, my brand obviously gets reinvented in that process. Things that I
Sure.
started doing, I don't do anymore because I'm saying yes to other things. So
Sure.
how are you? I would love some examples.
Yeah, I think a great example that I articulated in the book in chapter 4, there are many examples, but the example is so memorable because it was actually making a global brand, a Johnny Walker whiskey,
Sure.
Scotch whiskey, relevant in China.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I was sent to China by the company that I was working for, Diageo, the leading um, alcohol beverage company. And my task was, the brand was not a leading brand.
Sure.
It was a challenger brand. And then the macro environment was, it's not really an appealing brand. It is seen as, by the generation Z, during that time, that is what my fathers would drink.
Hmm.
So it's not cool.
Okay.
It's not cool. The other thing was, during that time, um, the Gen Z, the Chinese doesn't know how to drink Scotch. So what they do is they take the Scotch whiskey, they mix it with green tea.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that good?
that's not good,
It
but they
doesn't sound
because
good.
they
I
don't
I mix up a
appreciate.
cocktail every Friday
Yes.
night on Instagram, so I'm very eager to learn of a new one, but that doesn't sound good to me.
So they don't appreciate it. So
Sure.
basically what I'm telling you is there was just two insights. So to make a brand relevant, it goes back to insight, right? Like, what is the why? Just like if you want to reinvent your brand, you go back to your soul and you ask why, what is touching me? So the two
And do
insight
you
that,
say why because you want to answer the first why first and then why that and then why and go
yeah,
five deep? Okay, I
yeah,
love it.
I want to go 5 deep, so I'm
Yeah,
looking for penetrating
love it.
insights
Love
that I
it.
could answer. So there were two core penetrating insight that we found. One was the Gen Z wants to be part of the, because China was booming then, so
Yeah.
they want to be part of the nation's progress. So they want
Mm,
to participate in the nation's progress. And the second insight that we found was the Chinese doesn't understand whiskey nor
Mhm.
whiskey culture.
Mhm.
However, they want to show off their knowledge. They want to show off that they're in the know.
Right.
So I did two things. One was I came out with a great campaign, which basically tell 12 Chinese influencers and their real authentic story of progress. So we have
Mm,
a well-known artist, we have a well-known businessman to a well-known entrepreneur to multiple of them, and we told 3 minutes films of amazing stories of their progress in a
ooh,
very raw, authentic way, and these 12 films were all um, shown in the digital space, and the Gen Z get to participate in talking about these films and how that helped them and inspire them in terms of the nation progress. So that's one. So that connects emotionally
right.
with the brand. It's no longer seen as an old man's brand. It connects with them. The second thing was I brought the Scotch whiskey culture from Scotland into China in an entire exclusive experience. So think of Nike House or Hermes retail experience in the luxury ways in the Johnny Walker house.
Cool.
Um, and you're only invited into that whole
Mhm.
experience. So that answers and teaches people what whiskey is all about, not to be mixed with green tea. And it also answers their need to show off.
Sure.
So these two initiatives basically reposition the brand to local relevance. So more and more it becomes part of the culture. So more and more Chinese sees Johnny Walker as a cool brand, and then on top of that, they know what whiskey is all about.
Oh, it's so cool. And I love the knowledge that you have that connection had to come before education
Yeah,
because otherwise there's no desire to learn about something you don't feel connected to.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
So
good.
I think that's applicable to also repositioning a personal brand
Yeah.
by starting with maybe self-awareness, knowing who you really are, and knowing what the goal of what you want you get to, and then the context of the environment that the audience that you want to speak to. So finding that through insight and the potential connection point with your target audience is where is an applicable framework. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. How do you so for let's just say for my particular brand, when you are identifying your authentic self, which you've mentioned is a key step, which I get, am I marketing who I am now or the woman I'm becoming?
The one you're becoming.
Right. Because that's who I'm calling up, right? It's like
Correct.
I want to talk to women who are ready to take a step toward the
Yeah.
dream that's in their heart.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. Thank you. It's so
Thank you.
fun. It's so fun because I think that for me, and I don't know if anybody else has this same feeling. Well, I mean, you do, right? Like marketing yourself is it's interesting. You like come up
Yeah.
against your growth edges for sure,
Yeah.
but you also will only recreate more of the same if you're focused on what is right now. So we are marketing and we are talking about where we're going. And
Yeah.
everything is marketing, right? We just call it communication here, but
Yeah.
conversation, but it's all where we're going.
Yeah.
And there is that aspirational identity that
Yeah.
we are collectively stepping toward. And when you connect with a brand, with a person that is already where you want to be, or you've seen their trajectory, like you said, of those 12 influencers and those the recapping of their their transition, their progression, that's those are the things that identify us. We can see where somebody was and the process of how they got to where they are now, and we can identify our story in different parts of their story.
Mhm. Yes.
Yay. It's so good.
Cool.
So how are you finding this evolution for you, and what is next in your trajectory?
Um, yeah, I think the vision is the goal is clear in a statement that I have. Um, I I am I'm obviously looking at, how that statement or that intent of that statement can come alive in the three areas that I'm looking for, right? Which is, my one statement now for my future is, um which is doing what I'm really good at, but I wanted it, I added in that element of, with soul. So, I help companies, um, you know, and people reimagine and reinvent themselves, with growth, with soul,
Yes.
in that sense. So that's kind of my one statement. And I'm looking at, opportunities that, um, you know, whether it's in the corporate world or whether it's in my own business, and also in board opportunities that come to that. So I'm staying open to that perspective. And I'm potentially seeking opportunities that has potential with people that has common alignment of values.
Mm,
So because when that gel, that exchange and the mutuality of equation, um, will will be smooth, right? So I have this broad based plan. um, I'm kind of going through the journey of, um, one by one to literally, trying to achieve the plans. Yeah,
right. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I love that your framework not only works in how the brand can be positioned in the market for its potential clientele, but it's the same process you're using
yeah,
to see who is in alignment for you to work with. And
yeah,
it's the same process that we're all learning and using for who we go have coffee with and who we spend time with. It's all the same. We're just
yeah,
um refining it for whatever opportunity that we're working on at that moment.
yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Well, yay. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you for your time, even at this super late hour. I'm so excited to support you and to share your message with our community. So please tell everyone where they can find and follow you and how they can get the book.
Yeah, they can obviously follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Siew Ting Foo. They can also find my book on Amazon in both e-copies, or physical book, or they can actually check me out on my website, which is www.soulforprofit.org. So SOUL for profit.org.
Perfect. Well, we will link everything down in the show notes and tell us also what the podcast is.
The podcast is called Leadership with Soul. It's available in Apple, Spotify, Amazon. all the websites. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sue, and congratulations on the book. And I can't wait to hear what happens next.
All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.